Alright, so I believe this is going to be our epilogue now. I think this is a Chapter 7 epilogue. Now, why did I react like that? Because I had heard that there were streamers who spent upwards of 5 hours trying to beat the final secret boss of this game. That it was so hard for them that they spent hours upon hours grinding on this boss to try to defeat it, and they couldn't do it. Like, they were like defeated or whatever, okay? And when I beat it, I was like... So immediately, of course, here comes the hater brigade. They all storm the stream, and they're like, you see, the only reason that you beat that boss so quickly is because they nerfed it. Remember, they nerfed the game. They nerfed everything in the game. And I said, no, they did not. Oh, yes, they did, Phil. Why don't you just admit it? Why don't you admit you couldn't beat the game legit? Why don't you just admit the only reason you beat the end of this game is because... I was like, no. They didn't nerf it. So I pulled up the patch notes live. Wow, what a comeback. What a comeback, dude. But that's it. The final boss was not altered. It's exactly the same for everyone. Okay? So I love that you get these idiots who absolutely have to try to discredit any possible thing that I could do that's good. They did it with Sekiro. Do you remember what happened with Sekiro? By the end of Sekiro, I gotten pretty good at the game, at parrying particularly. And so when I actually got to the final bosses and challenges of the game, it wasn't really kicking my ass anymore. Do you remember the final boss of Sekiro and everyone said, it takes everyone, again, like 5 hours to beat it? I beat it in 20 minutes. My final part of Sekiro was insanely underwhelming and like an anticlimax because everyone's expecting this giant epic showdown final boss, and I just like do this. Spank him around. And people couldn't handle that. They got upset. Oh, Sekiro's ruined. Ruined? Why? Because I didn't get dominated by the final boss? How does that even make sense, right? Wait, there's 2 of them? What is this? Oh, come on! I didn't know there was a boss fight in here. Fuck this. Fuck this. Oh my god. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Oh my god! Guys, gals, and everyone out there, I do need to appeal to you in the next few weeks. And here's what I mean by that. In the next few weeks, I now have to buy a ton of games. Alright? Just think about what I just said. I have to buy Sonic Superstar, Mario Wonder, Spider-Man 2, and at the end of the month, Alan Wake 2. And that's at a minimum. Okay? At a minimum in a short period of time. In addition to that, bills and things come due. And in addition to that, this month, I just found this out this morning. Okay, here's the way it works with YouTube. They usually pay me on one particular day of the month. But if that day of the month happens to hit a weekend, that gets delayed several days. This month, my payday is on a weekend. So I normally would get paid. I'm not going to get paid for at least another 2 to 3 days later than usual. So not only do I have to afford all these games in the next 1 to 2 weeks, which is abnormal that I would have to buy that many games in a short period of time, I also have to pay all my bills, and I'm not getting paid by YouTube at the right time. And the only thing I would need to say, guys, please, if you at all can, if you want to help me out the most, please tip me. Right now, behind the scenes, there's stuff going on that I don't want to really disclose, but I am completely and utterly strapped for cash, and it's in a bad situation because I have bills coming up, and I'm nervous. And, if you tip me now, that's the funds that are going straight to my bills until I get paid by Twitch in the next week. So please consider tipping me tonight. So right now, yeah, I'm actually in a really tight spot. All right. Now, is it the end of the world? Is the sky falling? Am I going to get thrown out into the street and have to live in a cardboard box for the rest of my life? No. Do not listen to any moron who tries to spin what I'm saying right now into something toxic and nonsensical and full of conspiracy theories. It's not. I'm being transparent with my audience. Basically, for the next few weeks, things will be financially tight for me because of reasons. Usually, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be a big deal. But it's, I have to buy a bunch of games that normally I wouldn't be buying, and it's a short period of time I have to buy them in, and it coincides with a month when my payday from YouTube is coming on a weekend, which means it's going to be delayed several days than it usually would be. All these factors, like the perfect storm of stuff happening at once, okay? So why am I bringing this up? Because if you want to help out right now, tipping me would help me tremendously. Now, you might have noticed we lost 100 members in the last week. 100% true. Yes, that sucks. By the end of this month, I would love to get that membership goal back up to 650, where we were. Like, that was my goal, and then look how many we lost because those gifted memberships expired, correct? But you have to understand that right now, I have to look at big picture stuff, short-term, long-term. Right now, short-term is way more important than long-term, meaning tips right now would help me tremendously to get through these next 2 tougher weeks until I finally do get paid by YouTube, until, you know, I buy all these games and all those are out of the way and all of that.
I need that money. I really do. I need that money to pay my bills, the electric bill, the internet bill, and the incredible amount of games, new games.
All right? So please, if you can, tip me in the next couple of weeks. All right? I don't usually say stuff like this. In fact, it's been many, many months since I told you guys, hey, man, please just do this if you can. But now I'm actually in a situation where this is going to affect me in the next couple of weeks. All right? So if you were thinking of already contributing, you like the content, you're excited for all these new playthroughs I'm doing, you want to see it keep going, please tip if you can. If you can. If you cannot tip, it's fine. All right? I don't want anyone going crazy. I don't want anyone going beyond their means. I don't want anyone bending over backwards. I'm just saying, if you're a regular who attends the streams, you'd like to help out right now, tipping is a great way to do that. Contributions are mandatory, or not, excuse me, boy did I screw that one up. Contributions are not mandatory. I forgot the key word there. Not mandatory. I'm happy to just have you guys come by and, what a slip of tongue. If I saw a distinct increase in tip support for the next 2 weeks, it would actually allow me to sit back and more relax. Right now, I am kind of tense and on edge because I looked this morning, I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. This is the month when not only do I have to buy all these games, but now my pay gets delayed for like several days, and I got bills in that time. Like, how am I going to pay those bills when my pay is getting delayed? I'm like, oh, shit. All right? So, please, if you can, tip. All right? And that's all I'm going to say. I don't need to sit here and harp on it, but it would be great if every stream, like I've been telling you guys, I've been hoping every stream we can hit the tier 1 tips goal. Yeah, if we could do better than that, that would help even more, right? I mean, if you remember, that was the idea, is that previously I was trying to hit tier 2, tier 3 on certain streams, and we haven't been doing that in a very long time, where it's been consistent, almost never. So, yeah, if you were choosing to support my streams in any way, tipping would help right now, all right? So please do if you can. And then once I get paid eventually by YouTube later in the month, things will be more alleviated. It won't be that big of a deal anymore. But the problem is the delay is actually going to kill me. There's like 2 bills that are going to have to clear that usually would clear right away, but they can't clear because my money's going to be delayed. So now not only do I have to buy all these games, but I also have to pay these 2 other bills with other money before I get paid by YouTube. It's like, this sucks. A little, link to click on to go to the PayPal tips page as well. Tips are much appreciated. In fact, tips are what I typically have been using to fund game purchases this month. Pretty much all the games I bought this month were funded by tips. As of now, I have none. Like, I'm all drained out. It's just life, though. This is what happens, And, eventually, long term, I hope that there's ways that I could fix it or get out of it. I actually talked about this the other day, where long term, I feel like things will get better. It sucks because right now, if the world didn't change in the last 3 years, things would be better for me right now. I have stayed way more financially responsible in the last several years, and the whole goal was stay the course, keep plugging away, make good content for my audience, entertain them. They'll support you. You guys absolutely have. This is not a complaint in any way, shape, or form. I am so eternally grateful for the fact that you guys support me as much as you do. But the whole idea was that within a few years of me declaring bankruptcy, I was going to be able to refinance my home. This house that I live in has tons of equity in it. And the whole idea was that maybe I could refinance with me every single day on stream. I love it. And, you know, it's that stuff's positive, and there's other stuff that's positive behind the scenes, but the fact that I might lose my fucking house over something that I have nothing whatsoever control over or to do with. And I would be able to get some cash out, and that would allow me not only to have some money in savings, so now I don't have to worry about this kind of stuff anymore, but I could actually fix things in my house that have been broken for years. I have a bathroom that's been broken for over 2 years. The shower doesn't work, the toilet doesn't work, the thing's falling apart. I can't do anything with it. I have no money for it. You know, I have a broken dishwasher in my kitchen. I have cabinets that, no exaggeration, the drawers and doors are coming off the walls. And I just don't have money to do anything with it. And normally you say, well, you'd be able to refinance your home. I can't, because in the United States, we've had record high inflation, and they raised interest rates so much that if I were to refinance my home, I'd have no money out. All I'd be doing is shooting myself in the foot. You know, when I bought this house 9 years ago, I got into a good interest rate, and I locked into it. If I were to refinance, I'd be going for an interest rate so much higher, my payment would balloon, and I would have no money for anything. So now I have to wait. I have to stay the course again. It's like I already did it for many years. I got to keep it up for another 3 to 5 years. I got to stay the course, wait for the markets to adjust again. Inflation will go down. Interest rates will go down. And then I can refinance and finally get the benefits of owning this home. Right now, I literally cannot benefit from owning this home. You know, I'm stuck. All right? And that's what I mean. Like, so people are like, well, Phil, we don't want to contribute because we feel like you're never getting better. Actually, in reality, things are getting better. If you haven't noticed in the last several years, I don't do marathon fundraisers anymore. Don't have to. They said, Phil, you know, we contribute to you, but it always seems like it's a black hole, because it always seems like no matter how much we contribute, you're always still having problems. You're always still in debt, and nothing's getting better. I agree with you. When we do a marathon, it's for fun. Hey, contribute if you want during the marathon. That helps a lot. But I'm not sitting here saying we got a giant goal. Let's hit that goal. And come on, guys. It's not a fundraising event anymore, right? I'm not sitting here screaming about money constantly anymore. I don't have to. That's a good thing. I don't want my content to be all about that. I think that's dumb. I want to have fun with you guys. That's the point. And then making a living doing it is secondary, correct? But it all goes hand in hand. And I appreciate how much you guys have helped me and supported me, even with all the insane amounts of slander and insane conspiracy theory and everything on the internet about me. That's bullshit. I appreciate you guys still enjoying the content and supporting it, all right? So all I'm saying now, next couple of weeks, matter-of-factly, transparency with my audience, tipping would help me tremendously. Tipping right now would be absolutely the way to go to help me out and get me through this couple of weeks where things are going to be tight. And then once we're done with that, we get back to normal. Don't have to worry about it again, all right? Because I am nervous. You take a look at this. You're like, oh my God, I dipped like a bunch of members. It sucks for sure, but that's not the end of the world. And that's also a long-term deal. I got to get through the next 2 weeks before I worry about next month. You see? Okay. So thank you for listening. Thanks for understanding. Please support with tips if you can, so I can afford all these upcoming games and all these bills and everything. All right? I would really appreciate that. All right.